Eamon Javers has been standing by watching a lot of the pomp and kind of figuring out what this means from business perspective, too. Eamon, it looks like that helicopter is just setting down.
Yeah, good morning, Becky. If you like pomp and circumstance, you are in for a treat this morning. The Brits are going all out, full bore, for this second state visit for President Trump this morning. Here he is in Marine One, landing, we believe, momentarily here at Windsor Castle, and he'll be greeted by the King and Queen themselves. The president said on his way out of the White House the other day that this is a rare occasion for a president of the United States to get a second state visit. As you look at the troops lined up to receive him there, what we're going to see over the next hour or so, Becky, is an impressive array of statecraft and ceremony. We're going to see a military-themed welcome to the President of the United States. The British government has given us a number of tidbits. This will be a first in many ways. The British government is saying that the scale and spectacle of the military ceremonial is going to be unprecedented. This will be the largest military ceremonial welcome for a state visit to the UK in living memory, they say. And there are a couple of firsts that we're going to see here over the next little while. They say this is the first time there has been a joint UK-US military, what they call fly past, what we call a flyover at a state visit. So American and British pilots flying together in solidarity. That shows the specialness of that special relationship, as you guys have been discussing. Windsor is going to see the largest guard of honor ever at a state visit to the UK, and this is the first time they say that beating retreat has been performed at a state visit. And the U.S. military band will take place in the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace later this month for the first time in history. So all of that symbolism designed to show how close the relationship is between these two countries when, as you guys were just discussing, the relationship in the real world is a little bit frayed. Differences over tariffs, differences over Ukraine, differences of style and personality between British leaders and President Trump. All of that they're trying to paper over with this ceremony and stitch together that relationship and show just how close these two nations are as we watch Marine One here now coming in for a landing at Windsor Castle, guys.
That was just a huge dichotomy you just went over compared to the last conversation you had, which you referenced, Eamon.
With Richard Haas,
right.
Council on Foreign.
The Biden guy. I mean, okay, but if I was a Biden guy, I'd hate what's going on, too. But the pomp and circumstance, we still have a close relationship with the UK, probably the closest of any of our allies. And it's still special, but you, with the caveats that you just mentioned, I think, Eamon, but pulling out all the stops, and I, for one, am going to look a little more half full at what's happening. And I don't know if I love pomp and circumstance, but it should be something incredible to watch.
Is something that it's hard to turn your eyes away from.
And not many.
Because the British do it better than just about
Has any other president had two state visits?
Time.
Eamon? No, I don't think so, right?
No, that's rare. Typically what happens when a president's reelected is that they get another visit, but it's much more low-key. Coffee with the Queen or something like that. In this case, they're going all out with a second state visit. That is perhaps unprecedented. I have to go back and check the history books, but certainly rare. And the president took note of that as he left the White House yesterday, saying this is one of the only times a president has gotten a second state visit. So President Trump himself is impressed with this. He's impressed with the castles and palaces that he'll be visiting along the way. And look, the Brits are not foolish about this. They understand that this is a president who likes a military parade, who is impressed by pomp and circumstance, who wants to be feted. And so they are encouraging that. And they have a tool of statecraft that very few people in the world have, which is the King of England. And they are using the King of England here in a diplomatic way, you could argue very effectively to win the hearts and minds of one man, Donald Trump.
Right. Far be it from the president to respond to people currying favor or saying good things. I mean, that is something that we've seen in, we just know that, and I'm not even criticizing it, but it's definitely something that we know I'm excited to watch it. We know it's something that he does, obviously. Appreciate.
And there you see the royal family approaching the helicopter there.
There we go. Wow, this is kind of cool, Eamon.
Oh,
William
Prince
and Kate
William.
on the lawn to
Catherine.
greet the president and the first lady.
All right.
And that is a warm greeting. Of course, all of this will have been very carefully choreographed, and the goal here is to show just the utmost respect from the British government and the royal family. You know, this is a president who enjoys engaging with royals around the world. As we see our pool camera moving into position there, you get another shot here. You know, guys, this is not our bailiwick, but of course, the outfits will be highly scrutinized on all of these folks as well.
Big
I'm just
on hats.
noticing,
Everybody,
and I don't have an eye for fashion,
hats,
but I'm noticing.
Yeah, everybody. Big on
color,
hats for.
And the color coordination of the ties and the purples. You know,
yeah.
I'm not a fashion guy, Joe. I'm out of my depth on that, but it clearly looks like someone's been doing some work here.
You're more of a fashion guy than us Lululemon wearers, which you point out all the time.
Us being you.
Well, you don't even wear a jacket, Joe, so we can't trust your
I do
eye for
sometimes.
fashion.
Okay, here we go. There's the king and queen.
King and queen.
How can you not love this?
I know. I was like,
And that is a
I don't
moment.
have much to say over it, but I want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a moment, guys, that the president also referenced yesterday on his departure from the White House. The president said he and King Charles have been friends for a long time. He called him a personal friend. And you're seeing the personal nature of that relationship here in the greeting as they get an extended handshake and conversation with the king and queen. You know, more than perfunctory here as you see them being escorted in. That is something that's very important to President Trump. And you'll see the round of handshakes here with all of the VIPs who will be on hand for this gathering and introductions. But this president views the King of England as a personal friend, and this is very much being seen by the president as a family visit.
That extends our knowledge of what's happening here. But watching this play out, it's historic. And watching this happen, you know, it's still hard to even.
King looks healthy.
King Charles.
He looks good, and he looks healthy. And you know, Kate, we know about the health issues for the last couple of years for members of the royal family, and this is. I think it's really I don't know. It makes me feel good, and I think it's something to watch and something to behold, just for what it is. And we don't need to talk about any of the any of the other things going on. Talk about
Joe,
we need to talk about tariffs right now.
It's interesting to see.
We don't have to.
It's interesting to see the king. It's interesting to see the king slightly blocked here by Kate Middleton in the camera shot, and you know what that tells me is, oftentimes in these highly choreographed settings, you know, people have their marks, and now you see them getting a little bit in their marks, so that everyone can be seen, especially the King of England. The fact that the king was blocked from our cameras just there, I think, actually is interesting. It shows that this was sort of a more informal gathering. They were talking in a circle, tight cluster, very personable conversation, not choreographed, not planned in that very moment there. And then you see them sort of spreading out and stepping to their marks so that they can get on the carriage here for the official carriage ride.
I mean, if you ever gone to the Royal Mews, I got dragged there, but the carriages that historically are used for different state occasions in the UK are just, it's beyond belief the meticulous nature of what goes into the maintaining and building them. And it's like everything over there. What everyone is. Every single button, every single thing that you see on, depending on your rank, it's all just, we don't have anything like it here, I don't think, in the United States. Eamon.